Hi everybody, it's Linnea here for LDRS Creative. Today we're going to make a really fun card using some of the new products from the summer collection. So I'm going to be using the Grandeur stamp set, but the primary portion of this card actually focuses on the Grandeur coordinating stencil set. This is a set of layering stencils that you can use with or without that Grandeur stamp set. Today I'm not going to be using it with the stamp set. I will be using a sentiment, but you can, instead of coloring, watercoloring or pencil coloring or marker coloring that stamp set, you can use the coordinating Grandeur slimline stencil set to add all of your color. So I'm going to just start with the first stencil. This is 1A. They're labeled in the bottom right hand corner, and to make that a little bit easier to see, one of the tricks I did was I took a little Sharpie and just kind of outlined that and then wiped off any excess with a cloth. So I'm going to speed this up really fast because this is just regular ink blending. I'm using LDRS Creative blending brushes and a variety of the hybrid ink. So I started there with Stencil 1A, and I used Prickly Pear Perfection hybrid ink. For layer 1B, I used Key Lime Pie. And now I'm switching over to 2A, and this is where I'm going to start with the florals. So I wanted to have pink and yellow florals. So this first one, 2A, I'm using Soft Kisses hybrid ink and just giving it a light pink inking. Then I'm going to switch over to Stencil 2B, and this is going to where I'm going to continue on with some pink, but I'm using a slightly darker shade. This one is Fandango, and you're going to already start to see these images start to come together. One of the tips that I like to do is to, and you can see me doing it here, I'm using my Misty, my stamping platform, as a way to add the stenciling really easily. So I taped a piece of cardstock in my Misty that's larger than what I needed, and I taped that right into the corner, and then I'm just popping the stencils in and out, making sure that it's always lined up with that bottom left-hand corner of my stamping tool. And this makes it so that I don't have to put any thinking at all into lining up these stencils, as long as I'm just putting them into that bottom left-hand corner. So for my yellows here, I used Banana Cream Pie, Lantern Yellow, Dandelion, and then actually for this last one, this 3D stencil, I'm going to come in with some Peachy Keen. I ran out of yellow, but that Peachy Keen is just a light orange, so it worked really well as the center for those yellow flowers. All my ink blending is done, and this is where, if you wanted to, you could take that Grandeur slimline stamp set and stamp a black outline or any color outline that you want over that stenciling. I decided to just use the Grandeur coordinating die and cut that out. Now I wanted to put this onto a background, and the Grandeur stamp set is a slimline stamp set, so it's perfectly sized for a slimline card. But I wanted to show you how you can use it on a regular A2 sized card. To create a background for my card, I'm going to be using the Brocade stencil. I sprayed the back of it with a temporary adhesive and then just used a brayer to really make sure that my cardstock was really stuck to that stencil. I'm going to use my LDRS Creative blending brushes and the same color inks that I used on the backgrounds and ink up this stencil. So I'm using Prickly Pear Perfection, Fandango, and Lantern Yellow, kind of picking the medium colors and just blending over that whole background. As I was putting my card together, I laid that Grandeur slimline stenciled piece over my background, and it wasn't standing out at all because I used the same color inks on my stenciling as I used in the background. It just wasn't standing out. So I thought maybe I would create a vellum backer that would help this pop out a little bit. And that wasn't working for me either. So what I ended up doing was just cutting a piece of vellum to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, so just a slight bit smaller than my background, and laying that over my background, and that kind of toned down that inking in the background, so my stenciled floral piece from the Grandeur stencil set would show a lot better. I'm going to add some foam tape behind my stenciled floral arrangement, add that right over top of the vellum and my card backer, and I'm just adding some temporary adhesive right now to keep my vellum in place. Once I have that Garden Grandeur stenciled arrangement taped onto my card, I'm going to flip that around and use liquid adhesive behind where my stencil piece is on my vellum to hide my adhesive. So this is where my card is at right now. All I need to do is just add a sentiment to finish this off. So I'm grabbing the Thinking of You sentiment from the Garden Grandeur Slimline stamp set, and I'm going to just pop this into my stamping platform and stamp with Raven Hybrid ink right into the center of that floral arrangement. And this card is done. I'm loving yellow and pink right now. I hope that you love this card. I think it turned out really elegant and really pretty, and shows that you can use your slimline stamps and stencils on a traditional A2 sized card. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I have listed and linked the LDRS creative products that I've used in this video in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye!